Good morning, Anisha. Okay, I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So we begin with career development models. The first one is pyramidal model. Actually, there are many, but since that you are an undergraduate, your syllabus is covering these three models. All right. So let us begin one by one. I hope you know what are models, or when we refer to some context as models or as theory, which is being developed by someone else, which is based on their perspective. Okay. So these models helps us to understand, or interpret our own working. For example, हम demand supply theory क्यों study करते हैं? Okay, we study that theory because we know it has got the relevance on how we work. Okay, motivational theories हम क्यों study करते हैं? Why do we refer to them? I'm sorry. Yeah. So we refer to them because we know the practices or the implications of our working are somewhere, okay, can be influenced or can be improvised if we study these theories. Okay. Remember one thing, students, theories and models or this type of answers are based on somebody else's perspective. It is being developed by someone after conducting a research, comprehensive research. Okay, तो किसी ने कुछ रिसर्च किया है, कुछ स्टडी किया है, उसकी कुछ फाइंडिंग्स है. Okay, जो कि उसकी फाइंडिंग्स होगी, नॉट नेसेसरी कॉन्क्रीट फाइंडिंग्स होगी. दैट मीन्स उसने रिसर्च करने के बाद उसको कुछ अगर पता कुछ आउटकम मिलता है, उसमें कहीं ना कहीं स्टूडेंट उसका पर्सनल बायस्ड अप्रोच भी इन्वॉल्व होगा, क्योंकि आप क्वेश्चनेयर कैसे बनाते हो उसके ऊपर भी डिपेंड करता है, हाउ योर एंटायर रिसर्च इज बेस्ड ऑन. My idea of sharing you this background is just to tell you that when we are studying this model based answers, or when we study the theories, it is somebody else's, perspective, and it is somebody else's idea of certain things. Okay. Although we can refer to them because it has got relevance on our own practices. So we will study all the three models. But the first one is pyramidal model. Okay, who is going to read that?
Pyramidal model. The most influential model is the pyramidal model of organizations and of careers. In this model, decision making power, status, and compensation all increase as the individual moves up the pyramid.
Okay, we
As
will go slow. We will
yes,
go one by one. Okay, yeah. So this, you can understand from the term itself, pyramid. Pyramid क्या होता है? You have a stronger base, and then and the hierarchy keeps going up. Okay, there are various levels. Okay, if you can recollect the answer that you have studied in form, top management, middle management, and then lower level management. Okay, there are many people who are at the lower level who forms the base of the pyramid. Okay, which includes the functional areas of the company, right? फिर आता है middle level management, and then very few people at the top level management. Okay, intellectual लोग top level पे ज्यादा चाहिए और technical लोग lower level पे ज्यादा चाहिए. Why I'm referring to this particular example is अभी आप वही स्टडी करने वाले हो कि pyramid, why this term pyramid is used. Okay, so this model is a very influential model. Okay, because here in this model what is assumed is decision making power, status, and compensation. Okay, I think it's only these things I mentioned. There are many other things like flexibility in doing the work, okay, or managing the team. Okay, everything increases as the individual moves up the pyramid. Okay, which means अगर आपने executive level पे join किया है, and after a few years if you are becoming a manager, automatically you owe and power to make certain decisions. Okay, you enjoy a particular status quo, and you also have your compensation, of course. Also, there is a change in the salary structure, which means your compensation also increases. So this model suggests that as people go up in the pyramid, okay, automatically their status, their compensation, their decision making power, everything increases. Okay. Why it is related to career development? Because career development is a long term process, guys. Career planning is where to get into, which field to get into. Career development is you have already opted a particular career. Okay. Now you have to progress in that career. Okay. For instance, in my career planning, I decided to get into the field of HR. Once I got into the field of HR, now I'm exploring the different functions of HR. Okay, I'm exploring different profile because I want to have career development. Choosing a career is one thing, okay, and making that career yourself very strong and your skills अनकम्पेरेबल इज अनदर थिंग बिकॉज आपने जो करियर चूज कर लिया है उसमें सस्टेन करने के लिए आपको अपने आप को डेवलप करना होगा. Yesterday's session was also, we have seen one point where we have studied that, um, uh, personal profile. Okay, that means unless you work on yourself, no matter which career you choose, no matter whether there is crowding or there is no crowding, unless you develop yourself, you will not be able to sustain. Okay, so career development models, mein, the very first one that we have started is pyramidal model. Okay, model का basic assumption क्या है? As people progress in their career, they automatically will experience increase in salary, okay, better decision making power, autonomy in working, okay, particular status that they might enjoy. They might not require permission for small things from their immediate bosses. Let us see how the answer is taking ahead. Okay.
As professionals first got into industrial and government organizations, this was the only career model they followed. The individual starts at a lower level of an organization, that is, at the bottom of the organizational pyramid, and works his way up to the apex by consistently updating his knowledge and skill levels and taking up additional responsibilities which help him grow in the organization.
I think very simple to understand this practice of getting the status and better decision making power is quite evident in government sectors, and now it is also very evident in I think private sectors as well. Okay, so as you go up, you kind of enjoy a certain power in the company. Remember one thing, when you are a person who has been working in a company for years together, you enjoy a particular status, okay, and um, uh, you are somewhere, for a newcomer, you can be a, not, I would not say a boss, but you can be someone who can guide them, a and b, you also have certain power to instruct them, okay, for the newcomers. So this is quite evident that when you're working in a company for a long term, you automatically have that sort of power. Okay. So yes, what is the next part of the answer saying that as an individual starts, working at the lower level, obviously he has to put in efforts to, develop his skills through training and through experience. Further through new responsibilities, he can slowly, go up. Okay, and once he moves to the next ladder of hierarchy in the organization, he will be granted certain power or he will be granted certain status. Okay, Smriti.
Hence, there is motivation for lower level and middle level employees to plan their career development so as to sit at the top of the organizational pyramid one day. On the other hand, the top level management has the motivation to stay on top and guide the lower level employees in their career development.
Yeah, so I think people who are at the lower level or who are at the middle level management will definitely have certain motivation to go to the next level of the pyramid and to be a person sitting at the top. Okay, amongst very few people in the employees, I think amongst the people in the employees, very few of them would make it at the top level management, because it's not easy to become a BOD, a member of BOD. To be a member of BOD, you have to be an extra. You have to exceptionally be different. You got to be extraordinary. Okay, because once you become the member of BOD, you are not going to be someone who is going to, so make you're not going to be someone who is going to work on plans. You are the one who is going to make the plans. Okay? So I think when the company organizes something called, training and development for the employees, they do it with the perspective that, amongst this pool of people, there will be someone who can be a person to be a member of POD. Okay. So it's very obvious, students, that people who are at the lower level, they certainly will have motivation to move to the next level of the pyramid, and then to the next level of pyramid, and be a person at the top management. On the contrary, the top management members are already motivated to be able to guide to the middle level managers or the lower level managers. The pyramid might have different level of hierarchies. Okay, usually it is divided into top, middle, and lower. But there are companies who have 7 level of hierarchies. Okay, let me tell you, more level of hierarchy. Okay, more confusion in the company. It's always advisable to have less level of hierarchy. We have studied that in principles of management also. ये scalar chain जब आ जाता है, okay. See, if I have to take a decision, if I have to ask 10 people who are above me, it is going to be very time consuming. Okay, and when in the market, the one thing which is some very expensive is time. You cannot buy time. भाई अगर आपने कुछ सोचा और इम्प्लीमेंट करने में देरी कर दी, तब तक आपके कॉम्पिटिटर ने वो चीज प्लान कर दिया, इट्स अ बिग लॉस टू यू, राइट? सो इट इज ऑलवेज एडवाइजेबल टू हैव लेस लेवल ऑफ हायरार्की. और पिरामिड में जितना लेस लेवल ऑफ हायरार्की होगा, okay, उतना एम्प्लॉयज मोटिवेटेड रहेंगे, बिकॉज दे नो दैट दे आर द वंस, इफ their potential, they will be the one to make it to the next level. अगर आप ये मॉडल को थरोली स्टडी करोगे, एक्चुअली यहाँ पे आपके टेक्स्ट बुक में सिर्फ 1 पैराग्राफ ही है. व्हेन यू डू योर एमबीए और योर पीजी, तो वहाँ पे पिरामिडल मॉडल काफी डिटेल में एक्सप्लेन किया हुआ है. तो over there it is elaborated with so many examples, and with this is just a summary. Okay, this particular answer is just a summary. Okay, the actual model, if you study pyramidal model, you will understand that people who are very serious about their career development, they definitely refer to this models. Okay, even organization will use either amongst these three models, either pyramidal, either obsolescence, or either the third one, that is Japanese model. Indian companies wouldn't go for the Japanese model. What I understand now is कि ये आंसर आप ये अभी तक जो स्टडी किया है, इसमें ये समझ में आ रहा है that pyramidal model is mostly followed in the Indian companies. Let us see the concluding paragraph. Okay.
Many professionals with high and impressive qualifications become prime candidates for management positions. But many professionals were appealed to find that the ability and willingness to manage seemed almost the sole criteria for advancement, recognition, or reward in their organizations.
Yeah, I think quite easy to understand that professionals who are very good, or are having great knowledge, maybe because of their professional studies, or maybe because of their experience, they know that they will be the next person, the prime candidate to be a part of succession planning and to reach at the top level management. Lastly,
Similarly, many organizations found that the pyramid model failed to take crucial facts into account. Too often, they found themselves promoting a key technical specialist to a management position just because they thought it was the only way to reward him.
I think this is one of the major disadvantage of the model, that since you got to motivate your people, and since the model suggests that those who are working with you should be promoted to the next level of hierarchy. Okay. The company is not focusing on hiring people from outside. Okay. The company is doing internal succession planning and is giving internal recruitment when there is a key position vacant at the top management or at the prime position to the existing employees only. In these circumstances, students, what is happening is you are promoting a person with a technical know-how at the managerial profile. You can be very good when it comes to technical know-how or when it comes to the technical part of working, but not necessarily good at the managerial position. Okay. So the pyramidal model is failing to take this crucial facts into account. Okay. And simply by promoting someone with good technical know-how at the managerial position can make the company suffer huge losses. It happens, students. You can be very good when you are working as an executive. Your ideas when you chalk out are excellent. Your style of working is perfect. Maybe your quality of work is also very good, okay, because your technical knowledge is related to the work is very good. But when it comes to managerial position, okay, when you as you go ahead, as you go at the top, let me tell you, आप किसी भी कंपनी में जैसे आप अलग अलग लेवल ऑफ हायरार्की में आप पॉजिटिवली प्रोग्रेसिवली ऊपर जाते हो, ओके, आप है ना काम कम करोगे और डिसीजन मेकिंग पे ज्यादा आ जाओगे. दिस इज अ नॉर्मल फिनोमिना. The more you are at the lower level of the hierarchy or at the base, the more you are into execution. Okay, आप work implement करते हो. As you go up at the hierarchy or as you are going at the top, slowly, uh, your work implementation is going to become less, and your decision making power, managing team, your leadership, all that will come into account. Okay. So pyramidal model is having this one major disadvantage that they are promoting the lower level executives at the managerial position, assuming that that is in a one way going to motivate the employees for career development. It's certainly good to be employee oriented. In fact, in all my sessions, I've been telling you if the company has to progress, it has to become more employee oriented. However, students, okay, thinking only about employees wouldn't help you to sustain the competition. You have to understand that you got to have dynamic set of people working in your company. Okay? It's also important sometimes to hire a person from outside, a fresh blood with a fresh idea. Okay, someone who is not aware about your organization culture, someone who can bring in new pattern of working. So that is also one side. Okay? A company cannot take all the decisions by heart. It's perfectly nice to be good to your employees and be very employee oriented, but at the same time you got to take certain practical decisions, and pyramidal model is not talking anything about it. So I think this is one of the major drawback of the model. And I think if you refer to certain case studies which are based in pyramidal model, you will understand that bureaucrats or if I say government companies, surely have seen the negative impact of following this model. If there is no doubt, we move to the second one. ऐसा कुछ तो आपको नहीं समझ में आया?
No, ma'am.
Very simple to understand,
No, ma'am.
guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. A very quick recap of what we are doing. We started with the career development models, and so far we have discussed pyramidal model. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm having a little cold and cough, तो मेरी आवाज proper आ रही है कि नहीं पता नहीं. Okay. So in the pyramidal model, we have studied that how lower level executives are given opportunities to qualify to the next level of hierarchy while they are into career development. And that this, in one way, is the company's approach towards the employees to motivate them. But we have seen in the conclusion that the major drawback is it is not looking to the other aspect. Okay, you need to understand there is always the other side to a coin, and the company should explore to it. Let us see the next model, that is obsolescence model. Let us go ahead with that one.
Obsolescence model, as the number of professionals in various organizations with an experience of more than 2 or 3 decades grew substantially, a new issue was encountered by the management as well as these employees. As the business, ma'am, shall I continue?
Yes, you can continue.
As the business process and technologies evolved, these experiences employees failed to keep pace with the modernization happening all around them. This result in low performance ratings in the second half of their careers. The low performance ratings of many of these senior employees lead to the use of the theory of obsolescence model.
As the term itself refers to outdated approach. Okay, obsolescence model is clearly stating that the company is going to experience at a particular point of time that those employees who are associated with the organization for a quite a long time and now aged in their career at a particular stage. Okay, they won't be able to keep the pace. That means they won't be able to adopt to the modern technologies. Okay, uh, I think this was one of the things which was quite discussed in the times during this pandemic. Okay, that how to handle those employees who are quite experienced and their skills and their knowledge is very beneficial to the company, but then they cannot adopt the new and modern way of working. For them, work from home through laptops and internet connections were not that easy. Okay, so I think there are so many research papers been written during this 1.5 year period of time uh, about how these employees will keep pace to the modern development. Education field also, it was quite discussed that how faculties who are at the age of maybe 57 or 60 years, or at the nearing to their retirement, how are they going to handle this entire technological setup? Because for them, the chalk and talk method is the quite prominent method of teaching. So as you can refer to this model now, it states that over the decades, अगर आप 2-3 decades से किसी company के साथ में काम करते जा रहे हो, okay, what is going to happen is you are going to become very good when it comes to organization culture, adopting to culture. You will become very good when it comes to working style. You will be excellent and possibly specialized also in how to get the work done. However, when it comes to technological development, your pace will be a little slow as compared to the newcomers. Okay, क्योंकि freshers जो होंगे ना, they might have a good hold on the technological development. Okay, so it was seen that during the performance appraisals or when there were ratings given to the employee um, uh, at a particular stage of their career. Okay, these employees who were not able to keep to the pace of the technological development were getting poor ratings. Okay, though their skills and though their knowledge is very valuable to the company, however their ratings are getting affected because of the modernization happening around. Okay, so though the senior employees, no matter how important they are to the company, okay, it is difficult for the company to make them, or to train them towards how to handle the new technology and modernization. Okay, so this model is suggesting. I'll just share the another page. Just a moment. Okay, again, it is sharing the same page. Just a moment. We'll just see the next two paragraphs and then I'll explain you. Okay.
The picture projected by the metaphor was that of a rapidly changing technology in which the skills of the older professionals were rapidly outdated and in which recent professionals who had mastered the latest tools and techniques were in high demand.
It is just repeating the same thing that employees who are working with the company for a quite long time and are older now, okay, these professionals are a bit slow in catching up to the new latest developments, okay, whereas on the other hand, the new employees or the freshers are having a good hold on this new tools and techniques, okay, so they become high demanding in the market. Let us see the last paragraph.
This model carries with it an implied solution to the problem when it is assumed that professionals become obsolete like machines. The straightforward remedy is to update or re educate professionals and to restore them to the state they were in when they came out of management schools, on top of the newest and most sophisticated techniques. All this money and effort spent on training of obsolete employees rest on the question of whether these employees be able to handle these modern concepts and adapt quickly to them.
Okay, I think the last paragraph is very simple to understand. This model carries out a solution along with a problem. It suggests that it's always advisable to encourage the new employees who are having good hold on the tools and techniques of the modernization. However, older professionals cannot be उनको आप overlook नहीं कर सकते हो. You have to use sophisticated methods of training them and making them re-educating them and making them more you can say able to handle the new technology, okay. You can give them piecemeal trainings, that means training in the small pieces, okay, and wherein they come out to be someone who is able to handle the new technology. However, the question still remains the same, whether will they be able to adopt to the new technology, or will they be able to adopt to this new modern techniques easily or not, okay. So all the money and efforts that the company is spending on the older professionals in the company, okay, those employees who are working for decades with the company, okay, company is spending on them. However, is this going to be beneficial and useful, okay. The model is just a summary in your answer, okay. At the bottom, or if I have to conclude this, or bottom line, if I have to say this, pyramidal model is saying that as you go up, you get certain powers and you enjoy autonomy, and of course, your compensation is also increased. Okay, obsoletes model is saying that older professionals who are working in the company, it is very difficult to make them potential for career development. It becomes extremely challenging and difficult to motivate them for career development, because they have reached at a point where their pace for the new technology is very slow, and the company can spend money and put in efforts to train them, but the question is still there that will they be able to adapt to this new technologies easily or not. And hence the obsolescence model is giving more focus or more attention to the new employees who have joined in the company, having good control on the latest tools and techniques, so they can be encouraged for the career development. We have one more model, that is Japanese model. I don't think so I'll be able to complete that in this session, so I'll stop here. Any difficulty in these two models, you can please get back to me. The attendance is quite poor today. I don't know why. Maybe Saturday or the first session, or rain. I don't understand. But there are only very few people who are there in the session. All right, I'll take up Japanese model in the next session. Any difficulty in the obsolescence model?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so I end the session here. You have a great weekend ahead, and please start preparation for your internal exams, as from 16th of September your papers are going to start. Okay, guys, you have a nice
Thank
day
you.
ahead.